I'm Sherry. Welcome to my studio. This is the second part of my experiment comparing different techniques using the same colors of paint on the same size canvas boards that are all painted the same color. The previous video had 4 different techniques using dirty pours, and this video is going to have 3 techniques using individual pours. The first is where the individual pours are just laid out one at a time. The second is puddles, and the third is a swipe. You can do a swipe with a dirty pour as well. As a matter of fact, it's a great way to cover up a boo-boo. But today I'm doing it with individual pours. If it ever quits raining like crazy here, I hope to be able to do the third part of the experiment, which is where I pick my favorite technique and do it on a wet canvas board. In other words, a canvas board that already has a layer of the flow paint on it, and see how that works. If it helps the paint move more, or if it just covers up where it doesn't go. I think it'll be a lot of fun if I get weather that permits it. Hopefully you're not hearing it pour in the background. The first pour I'm doing is the individual pour, where you pour on one color at a time. And I'm doing it with a spoon because these jars are so messy when I try to pour. This is my least favorite kind of pour. It doesn't get the pretty cells or the pretty movement, but I think that part of the problem might be that I'm doing it in straight lines. Perhaps if I did it in more of a swirling pattern or circular pattern, it might turn out better. As usual, you move the canvas around, and then you torch it to bring up the silicone and open up some cells, as well as pop the bubbles. As you can see, I'm not getting a lot of cell activity because the colors didn't overlay each other. Well, let's try adding a little more, torching a little more, and then we'll drag something through the color. Try to get them to mix. The next pour I'm doing is a puddle pour, where you lay out little puddles of each color. On a big canvas, you make these puddles pretty darn big. Melly D is an artist who does all of hers this way, and they're quite lovely. You pour one color at a time into the previous color and, make little puddles. Don't really need a whole ton of paint to cover this canvas, so I'm making smaller little pours. And also, like Melly D, I drag a stick through it. You can find her on YouTube, by the way. And again, tilting and then torching. And my final individual pour is the swipe. As I said before, you can do this with a dirty pour, or you can lay down the paint in a different way, but every time I've done it, I've laid out the paint like this with the bulk of the colors going one direction, and then the color that you want to swipe over the top goes at the end. And you use a flexible piece of plastic to drag across. This one's a little too big. I'd been using a wide putty knife and it wasn't enough, so I got this and now it's too big. So I mentioned the other day I got 2 for $1, so I'll be cutting one of them into smaller pieces. This is one of my favorite ways of doing it because the colors just start popping through immediately. If you'd like more information about paint pouring, just click on the little down arrow below the bottom right corner of the video. And in my description, I give my recipe, I give a playlist for different pouring mediums and how they compare to each other, and another playlist of some of the videos I watched when I started, well actually, that got me started in this fun new medium. I want to thank y'all for watching. Please leave any comments and questions you have. I'll get to them as quickly as I can. I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel. Thanks again. Bye.